Good morning, Juice Plus. How are you all today? Oh, looking forward to seeing many of you pop on. I am just going to hang here for a second and see who comes on this morning to our power call. Just going to have a little sip of my cuppa while I'm waiting. Here we go. You can start to see people popping on. Give me a hello. Put in the chat there where you're watching from. Okay. All right, beautiful Lyndsey. I can see that you're watching, but it doesn't say I can bring you on the camera. That's interesting. Are you on your phone, lovely lady? Okay, let's have a little look to see if you are on your phone. You might want to go off and come back on again because it just says you're watching and it won't let me bring you on the camera. Alrighty, loving all the loves here that are coming on. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Victoria. Kat, good morning, Davina. How's it going? I can see Crystal is watching. And coming in from Melbourne today. Where else are we coming in from? Give me some little things here. Okay, let's have a little look here. Now, add. Have a look. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
We did it!
We did it! We did it.
Oh boy, it's like, yeah.
Now you might need to turn the volume down or whatever. Getting feedback. I can hear myself through your computer.
Is that good now?
No.
I don't have anything else on.
We're getting on an echo.
Are we? Okay.
That's really weird.
Shall I go away and try and come back?
Yeah, maybe. It's really weird.
I love this. Okay.
Are you on the computer or the phone?
Phone.
Wow.
And my computer is not on with anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rightio. Any technical wizards have anything?
I'll go away and I'll come back and we're going to just have it beautifully. Let me just switch off my aircon. Maybe it's that. How's that now?
No.
Okay, I'm going to go away, come back, and bring a whole new funky sound system with me.
Exactly. Another exciting time.
Oh, love it. Be back in a jiffy.
Lyndsey, wearing headphones will remove the echo. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. One moment, please, caller. Okay. I can do that.
Awesome. Thanks for
Just
that
like a
tip,
little
Crystal.
something I prepared earlier.
Here we go.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's see what's happening.
Let me try with these. How's that?
No, it's still echoing.
Okay.
That's really weird.
Okay. One more try, and then I'll log off and I'll come back.
Okay, testing 1, 2. No, boy, it's been worse. Is anybody else getting an echo? Can you hear that echo, or is it just my end?
I'll catch you. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So Lyndsey will go and come back to us in a little mini. Mind you, she's frozen there, so I'm not sure. I'm thinking that she's going. Let's have a little look here. Lyndsey. I'm not sure. Okay, you're hearing it as well. Okay, cool. I just want to, and when I'm just on my own, is it clear? Can I just kind of gather that? Just so I'm making sure that it's not my end that is the issue. So we have a frozen Lyndsey. Oh no, there she goes. Alrighty, okay. All right, well, look, while we're on here, what I would love to do is share some wins in the chat. Let me know what's been happening for you. We are so far in. Good morning, Shell. I know that you'll be getting ready to go. I know you've got a win. You've got a beautiful teamy starting this morning. That's awesome. Okay, thanks, Davina. Okay, alrighty. So the feedback's coming from Lyndsey. Alrighty, we'll give that a go again. I can see Lyndsey's popping up. Okay, so while we're doing that and while I'm connecting Lyndsey back in again, and that, can I get you to put in some wins? What's been going on for each of you as we over this kind of month? Here we go. I want to bring her on camera. Yep. Few links sent out, Barbie. Awesome. That's brilliant. Well done. Okay, and I know there's a number of you that have had beautiful new customers coming on board, and a number of you who have had some new teamies that have started. And can I say, Lyndsey, that's perfect.
Told you I'd bring star quality sound.
There you go. Look at you. Look at
Just
you.
like that.
So Shen, yes, beautiful new teamie coming on board this morning. So that's awesome. And I know that you're very excited about that, getting a launch event happening. So that's really cool. And I want to congratulate you guys too, because I know Shen and Bella, you guys are sidelining, like really supporting and encouraging one another lots and all the rest. And, Davina in there as well. So there's lots of, I love it when we start to see people just encouraging and supporting one another, and making it all come together. So I'm looking forward to chit-chatting with you guys later. So come on, so show me some of the news here. I want to see some of the news. You can see all these beautiful people on board here, having a little watch before we kind of get into the nitty-gritty of the call that we want to do this morning. So I have to say, so my successes this month have been for recruiting month, has been more probably around just being able to continue to learn from so many awesome people right around the world. I got to go to the Barcelona conference, hence the reason why I was away for the last few weeks, and then got to visit family in Ireland. And again, lots of Juice Plus conversations were still being had. It was really, really, it was really awesome. It's been great. But again, I also saw so many opportunities for where people would benefit from our business. And don't worry, I did make sure that I sowed some seeds as well, just in case. Can't help myself. So that was really, really cool. This morning, I'm going to be straight up. I'm a little bit of a whisk. The eyes are a little bit red. I put children back on the trains and the planes and all that to Tassie. So bit of a wuss, but other than that, so blessed and grateful that this business allows us to be able to do what it is that we do. So really grateful to be here with you guys this morning. So you guys are so huge on my screen, Tanya says. Thanks, Tanya. What are you saying? We're huge with awesomeness. Is that what you're saying? We are huge with awesomeness. And nearly have an SC in my team. Woohoo! That's awesome. That's fantastic too. Can't wait to do game plan. Tracy, hands up as well. Awesome. Well, we're very excited because there is a lot happening. Besides the fact that we are coming towards the end of November, which is just a little bit scary. I cannot get over where this month has gone, never mind the rest of the year. Myself and Lyndsey and Mick and Steve, we all head to New Zealand this week, and we're so excited. So all the Kiwis, hands up, cheers. Woo. We're going to have such a ball, aren't we, on the weekend, Lyndsey? We're excited, aren't we?
We are super pumped. I mean, honestly, I'm raring to go, and I know I've been speaking with some of the people in New Zealand, and they are super, super excited about game plan and about the various different trainings that are happening over the weekend. And of course, we get to hang out, and that's always interesting, isn't it? Like what? It's like, ooh, I love those times.
We get some brain kind of time where we actually kind of sit down, and then next thing you never are quite sure what we're actually going to come up with.
Yeah. And I've got to say, I also like the girl time we get, which is, after the event, sitting there with a cup of peppermint tea with our feet up in our gym jams, just hanging out. Do you know what I mean? I love that time. So I've got to say that's fun.
It is fun. It is really, really fun. So the other thing too that I'm going to say those to all of you Kiwis is it is not too late to register. I mean, we are kind of at capacity in the room the way we've got it set up at the moment, but we can move some tables and chairs if we need to get some other people in there. So we're pretty much at capacity and that the way we've set it up. But as I said, we can move some tables and chairs to get some more people in. So I'm really, really, really encouraging you that if you haven't got your ticket, if you haven't decided to come yet, now's the time to really kind of, think about it and go, you know what? Yes, I'm prepared to invest in myself. And Tracy, I agree. I love the warm buzz when we all come together as well. It's like a big family reunion. And I have to say, it just warms my heart. It really does. And especially, as I said, I mean, I've just kind of said goodbye to the kids as we had our early Christmas celebration. We won't be together for Christmas this year. And it's just, Juice Plus is like my second family. So as you know, as sad as I am with that, I'm honestly so excited that we've got this to look forward to this coming weekend, because it just warms my heart. It is like another family reunion where we get to hang out and share ideas and encourage one another, and lots of hugs and high fives and cheering and all the rest kind of things. So it is beautiful. And we've got a beautiful few days planned for you as well. You've got the sales coordinator training and above on the Friday afternoon. Make sure that you register for that. That's going to be really cool. We're actually going to be really serving. We're going to be, all the leaders, including myself and Lyndsey, will be there to serve you. So it is going to be a beautiful, beautiful event. That night, then we have the guest event. Now, for those of you who are not in New Zealand, who do you know in the Auckland area who might want to come along to the guest event and be able to experience a little bit of what we are about? And then, of course, Saturday is all about game plan. It's, you know, it is a day full of amazing training, panels and all sorts. So, and a huge number of leaders that are coming across for this one as well. So it is going to be amazing. And then we have Mr. Simon Chan on Sunday. For those of you who actually have registered for his workshop, anybody who has attended any of his workshops knows that you go to work, which I think is great. I love a workshop where you go to work. You're there learning and applying at the same time. And he is on deck to be giving that beautiful one-on-one personal kind of service there, where he's really going to be helping you get the answers that you need to get for your business and in action. So I think that's going to be very, very exciting too. Yeah. So, right.
Can I just say, Celine, can I just say that I think, I mean, I'm super excited about the weekend, and I really love what you said just a moment ago, and that is, who do you know in New Zealand? Who do you know? I mean, everyone has a circle of influence. So, you know, everyone knows someone. And I think now is just such a good time to do a reach out over the next couple of days. As you say, there's that wonderful guest event happening on Friday night. And one of the things I love about the Juice Plus community is that it's a really beautiful, safe space to invite those guests to come along to. You don't need to be present. You can be assured that we'll tuck them under our wing, we'll take extraordinary care of them, and you've got your uplines, your sidelines, you've got all of those people there to serve you in that time. And I think that's one of the really special things about Juice Plus. Yeah. And I think it's just such a brilliant opportunity to kind of expand business. We've got the 5-1 promotion coming on, and who knows, it might just be that one teamie that you get as we move through into December as a result of paying it forward and just having some of those conversations as we move in, because we still have time. And I just hate for anyone to miss out on that opportunity to learn more about Juice Plus because a conversation wasn't had, or there was a thought that, well, I don't know anyone in New Zealand. And I get that you personally might not know anyone, but there is a circle of influence surrounding everyone you do know. And so when you've served people well, I think you'll be amazed at how many people are happy to refer others to you and what you do, so they too can get some beautiful results. So I just encourage everyone to make that an activity over the next couple of days, you know, reach into that circle, see who knows who.
You just don't know, do you? I mean, it's about, I think we touched on it on the very first call actually of this month, it's about being courageous. It's actually about being courageous and not making this about you. When we're fearful about having that conversation or offering that opportunity to somebody, we're actually making it about us, because, you know, and again, just a reminder, I know we covered this at the beginning of the month, but I think it's worth saying again and being reminded time and time again. And I need to I might remind myself as well, when I kind of hesitate to kind of, oh my God, you know, will I, you know, and then I go, hang on a second, who am I thinking about here? Because that's about me. That's about me kind of going through, oh, what will they think of me? Am I good enough? You know, am I smart enough? Do I know the right words to say? Am I good? You know, all of these things, that little internal dialogue that starts to go, and, you know, really that's just about us. That's about us being more concerned about what we, you know, what people will think of us, rather than thinking, okay, in this moment, I'm going to make this completely about the other person. Now, if I was sitting in their shoes and I was maybe going through, whether it was I needed some extra cash towards Christmas, or I just needed a change in what it was that I was doing, wanting to be able to maybe stay home a little bit more with children or whatever. And this person over here had the opportunity to actually be able to, you know, share something with me that quite possibly could serve a need. Now, that doesn't mean that they have to say yes. It doesn't at all. That's not the part of our job that we need to worry about in the first instance. The part of our job is actually just about being courageous enough to go, I'm not sure if this is for you, but I'd love to share what it is that I do to help such and such. And that's really as simple as it is. And if they kind of go, you know, I'm really not interested, or, you know what, actually, what do you do? Or what is it that you do? You know, the beautiful thing about it is that in that moment of us being courageous and thinking more about them, you just never know whose life you're about to change. And that's the thing. You're here, more than likely, 99.9% of you are here because somebody was courageous enough to go, you know what? Yes, I think that they would be great at this, or I think that this would actually serve them. I know that was for me, you know, and I'll be forever grateful to Christine. Christine was the person who basically had the courage enough to actually, you know, invite me along and ask me, you know, well, what if? What if things could be a little bit different in that? So let's be courageous. Let's kind of really play out strong this week and be courageous. Put our big girl pants on, as people like to say, and go, okay, I am going to be totally courageous. I'm not going to make it not about me, but I'm going to put the star on the forehead of every other person. I'm going to put my listening ears on, or the Snoopy Dog ears, as I know Lauren Lahab likes to talk them as well, or Jeff Roberti. And I'm going to be just listening to people's conversations. I'm actually going to be listening when people are chit-chatting to me, so that I can kind of spot the markers when people are actually asking for help. Because more people are asking for help than I think we realize. Would you agree, Lyndsey?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because a lot of people ask for help very subtly. You know, these days I found it quite rare for someone to actually come up and say, hey, I really need a hand with this, or do you know, I'm really struggling with this. Do you know how I can find a way forward? Or, you know, it's subtle. It's kind of, they drop those seeds, and it's up to us to kind of be listening with an intention to serve, and really hearing what's being said between the lines, or as I like to say, what's actually not being said. You know, what are people not saying? Because often the gold is in what people are not saying versus in what they are saying. It's that piece that's missing, or it's those moments where things just kind of don't add up, and you know there's a missing something. And when you listen and care enough, you care enough to listen for that missing something, that's often where the real gold lies. I think it's so important. And I mean, this time of year, as we move into Christmas, you know, it's a time of year, Celine, that's filled with emotion for a lot of different reasons. You know, whether it be that, you know, the family pull or the family separation, whether it's, you know, when people are going into their bank accounts and realizing there's not the money there that they would like there to be for this time of year, or whether they're thinking about their health as we move through into the new year. It's a real time, I find, in December especially, and as we move through these final weeks of the year, where a lot of people are really evaluating how the year has shaped up for them. And do they really want to experience a repeat of 2018 and 2019? And whether or not the team are listening to their sharing, whether it might be product related, it might be business related, whatever the thing is you can offer to ease someone's pain, to throw them a lifeline for a new way forward. I think you'd be amazed at how many of those types of conversations are going on both internally and externally for people at this time of year. And so, you know, switch up those scuba ears and really tune in, because people out there, many are hurting, and we can provide a lifeline for many.
We do. And this is the thing. So, you know, when we get into our own head and we start to create, you know, the little stories around, you know, why we shouldn't, and that, you know, forget it, push them aside, and kind of go, you know what, I'm good enough. I'm here. I can share this, and I can lead somebody on a journey. And I think that that's super, super exciting. Cool. Okay, let's have a little look. So over this past, you know, month, you've been thinking about, you know, why recruit, you know, and I know then as well, you've had some great guest speakers with Sophie and with Kate that really have shared your wisdom. If you've not actually watched those live, I encourage you to go back and do that. I really, really would encourage you to do that. So yes, so there's been lots and lots of content as per normal. The other thing too that's just popped into my head there is, you know, when you are wanting to share with somebody and you're not sure what resource. I don't know if you've been watching, but there was a couple of new videos that went up this month as well. And you know what? It's healthy living with, healthy business with Juice Plus was one of them. So we've got, we've got a number that will talk about the product, about stories, and now about business. And there's more that are coming as well. So you've got this kind of bank of beautiful video resources besides what you're already creating within your own teams as well, that actually are different stories being shared, and they just may resonate with the person that you're wanting to share. So you've got all of these resources that we're creating for you to be able to have. So I would be copying those into my notes section of my phone. I was about to look for my phone there to show where, and I realized I'm speaking to my phone, but anyhow.
That's such a thing I do.
So the notes section, copy the YouTube links in there so that you've always got it just to copy and paste into something when you're in a conversation and you feel that one of those beautiful videos would actually be able to answer a question or give a little bit more of information for them. So you've got, as I said, you've got some great product videos, and now we've got our first business one that's come along as well as stuff that we've created in the past for you. So your YouTube channel is an amazing resource. This week, what we wanted to do was kind of, round off this recruiting month. And we'll continue to be talking about this as we lead into Christmas. But particularly for this month, where we're really focusing on the actual recruiting effort, getting to know why, and who we want to recruit, why we want to recruit them, and how to recruit through sharing our story and the conversation. There's nothing more powerful than your story and that. But now we wanted to talk about another tool that I know many of you use, and it's that three-way chat. It's that three-way call, that three-way conversation. It's kind of evolved over time. Before, when I did a three-way call, when I was starting my business, it was funny. And we would sit around my kitchen table and it was on speaker. That was a three-way call. Or you would be on the call and you would hand it to somebody else. Now, of course, we have resources where I can, on my iPhone, I can actually add another person in. Go figure, hey? Which is awesome. Or I know a lot of you use really effectively the three-way chat. So that's maybe on Messenger or even on text messaging as well. So there's a number of different kind of things around that. Now, what does it mean? For those of you who are going, what is she going on about? I haven't heard about these three-way calls and three-way chats. Basically, say, for example, Lyndsey's met somebody beautiful. She might have been, down at the beach on the weekend, and she got chit-chatting to somebody. And, one thing led to another, and next thing, this person is kind of, keen to maybe know a little bit more. So one of the beautiful things here is that Lyndsey doesn't have to have all of the answers. She may have all of the answers, but she doesn't need to have all of the answers. And this is what I love about three-way chats. It's brilliant at the beginnings of our career to when we don't know. We don't know maybe all the words to say, or we're just not sure, or that person might be a friend or a relative, and we're just afraid to kind of give that extra little bit of information just because of the closeness of the relationship, okay? So it's a brilliant one there. It's a brilliant one midway, because a third-party kind of validation is always very, very powerful. If I'm having a conversation with somebody brilliant, somebody else comes on and is able to validate what I've just said. Wow, how cool is that? And then later on, even as the more experienced you become, it's just the power then of the community, because what we also show through a three-way chat is this is bigger than just one person. This is actually multiple people coming together to support one another on what this might look like. And that. So it's really great, because suddenly you have somebody to teach you the words when you don't know the words, B, kind of, validate you, edify you, but also edify the company, and that whole third-party validation. So it's very, very powerful tool. So a couple of little things, though, I just do want to say about kind of three-way call etiquette. If we're getting on a call, on a chat, it can be interesting. But just say, for example, that Lyndsey has brought a beautiful person to the chat. Okay, so it's a prospect that she's working on at the moment, and then she invites me on. Okay. When she invites that third person on, okay, then her job is to zip it. Yeah. I know that can be hard, Lyndsey, I know that, but zip it. and allow then me to then either edify her or add value to the story or whatever it might be that needs to actually happen in that particular time. Okay, because otherwise there's no point. And I have been on a call in the past where I was brought to the call and the other person just didn't shut up. There was actually no room to say anything.
Yeah.
And that now, you know, again, that can be fine. However, the whole idea is that there is the opportunity for this person to come in and to be able to edify and add value. Does that make sense, Lyndsey?
Oh, yeah, I'm hearing you. Yeah, I've had very similar calls too, Celine. And you know what? I'm sure there have been times where I've found it really hard to do the zip, and it's quite possible that I've talked a lot more than was really helpful. So I think I've done both of those things. But what I love about those calls is what it shows the person who is coming to the call. It gives them value, it shows community, it does all of those things. But in that moment, it also shows them they don't need to know all the answers to get started. And I think that's the real power of that call as well. And so, you know, if you bring someone to the call and then remain quiet, what it really reiterates to the person who you've invited to that call is you didn't need to have all the answers, and therefore they don't need to have all the answers either. Whereas if you come to the call and you just keep talking and talking and talking, then what you're saying to that person who's on the call is you need to do what I'm doing. You need to have all the knowledge I have. You need to have all the answers I have to be able to do these calls. And so, as you say, you know, learning the art of zipping is sometimes quite challenging, yet there are many reasons why it's so powerful. And you know what? It's kind of cool because if you sit there and be quiet for a little while, who knows? You might learn something really good too. You know, so just say it.
You may actually just learn something.
Yeah, totally.
And you know what? Every day is a school day. So every day is an opportunity for us to learn, no matter how long we've actually been doing this. It's lovely. You might just hear a different way in way somebody kind of, you know, comes around an objection, or, you know, just a different way in which they actually get the opportunity just to maybe share their story. But the other thing too is that that other person is on there to edify you as well. So what that does is if you don't allow them time to speak, they don't get to be able to edify you and raise you up so that they can kind of, you know, show the person that, you know, you've brought along to the call that, you know what, you're the prize. Wow, okay, I really need to be going into business with this person. This actually sounds, you know, really good too. But also too that you're part of a community. Now we've got a document that we're actually going to post in the group as well, and it's called Three-Way Call Etiquette. Okay, and just gives, that's exactly one you prepared earlier, and it actually just kind of gives an extra little bit of, I suppose, just not, it's not that it's rules. These things are actually very casual when you start to do it, but it just lets you know. So one of the important things, of course, is if you are going to be doing a three-way call, so say Lyndsey has her prospect and all the rest, she needs to make sure that she's kind of worded me up, not just suddenly rung me out of the blue, added me into a call without me knowing about it. Okay.
You're live and up and running as we.
Because, you know, again, you know, I like to ask some questions. If I'm going onto a three-way call with somebody, I want to know a little bit about that person. You know, I'm going to ask, you know, Lyndsey, okay, so Lyndsey, just tell me a little bit about this person. What is it that you like about them? Why do you feel that they would be a fit for our business, or our business would be a fit for them? You know, tell me a little bit, you know, do they have children? What interests are they? Now, this is all stuff that you will probably already have garnished through your conversations with them if they're not already a personal friend. And if you haven't, that's some tips there. Get to know the person, because if you don't know at least some of that, you haven't taken time to build relationship yet. So do you have permission to actually even get to this point? Alrighty. So just think about, you know, some of the things. There's some of the things that I love to share. We used to have what we called a recruiting logbook. And so if I was at an event or anything and I saw someone, and so Lyndsey was there, I'd write down Lyndsey's name, and I'd write down, what did I notice about her? What did I like about her? You know, what is it that actually is making me kind of go, you know what, I'd love her on my team? Because that's the other thing that you're getting to do. Remember, we talked about it over the course of the month. Who is it you actually want to recruit? Who is it you want to add to your team? Just because somebody's upright and breathing does not mean you need to recruit them. Just saying, okay? If you've got a beautiful tribe of people that you feel that this person would be, you know, fit right into, fantastic. But you know what? Also, to know that, you know, you don't need to recruit absolutely everybody. You know, it is a beautiful thing that we've got, that we actually get to choose who we work with as well. So that's not about judging people, but it's just being clever about who it is that you're bringing into your tribe, and and you'll see that a lot of times people that are super, super clear about, and I know you've already gone over this, but super clear about who it is that you're wanting to kind of bring along on the journey, you will resonate an awful lot more. If you've got a real values connect there, it makes it a lot easier to work with people. So make sure that you pre-arrange the time, okay, with your sponsor. Give them a heads up and give them a little bit of that information. I think that's really, really important. And of course, then your potential customer or franchisee getting a time that's mutually convenient. That's why I do know that a lot of people have moved into the three-way chats, because it does, I suppose, take out the time element from the point of view of it has to be at a specific time. They still need to know, though, don't just add people in. They still need to know a little bit about this person so that they can add a little bit of value. So I would do a private chat to Lyndsey, tell her a little bit about, you know, who it was that I'm going to be adding her into the chat with, so that when she comes in, she's already got a little bit of a heads up and knows which direction to be able to guide the conversation in as well. I think that's really, really important. Okay. If you have an iPhone, of course, you can merge the calls in now, which is awesome to be able to do that. Introduce who you've brought on, and then, like I said before, button it, okay? Allow for that opportunity for them to speak. Now, as you get more experience, they may find your sponsor might say to you, okay, I want you to be saying a little bit more. I want you to share about this part, and then I'll share about this, and so on and so forth. So there may be some roles that kind of, you know, kind of develop out of this. But for the most time, if you're adding somebody on to validate and to edify, allow them the time to be able to do this. This is an amazing tool. And I've always was taught early on, let your tools do the work. So you've got your videos to be able to share about the product. You've got your research videos and the research websites to be able to share about the research. And you've got your beautiful sponsors or sidelines or whoever is working with you to do three-way calls. They're all the tools. And I loved your point to that earlier on, Lyndsey, because it is when you allow that person or the tools to do the work, somebody new coming in realizes, I don't need to know it all. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, totally. Otherwise, they're looking and going, oh, I could never do that. I don't know half of that. I could never say that. I could never do that, you know. And it's really interesting, Celine, because, you know, at conference, Simon Chan talked a lot about posture. I'm excited to spend some more time with him in New Zealand, by the way. I really liked his teaching. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I really remember hearing him say is that in these three-way calls, when you are introducing, you know, bringing on a sideline or an upline onto the call, your job is to, from a postural perspective, your job is to edify the person that is coming to support you on the call. So it's not about going, hey, I've met this amazing person, you know, she's just awesome, she's really wanting to do the business, or he's really wanting to do the business, you know, he's got all these awesome business skills. It's not about boosting up that prospect that you're bringing onto the call. It's making sure that you're edifying and positioning the team member that you're bringing onto the call, so that that's, from a postural perspective, it's where the kind of, not the balance of power, but it's kind of like where it's leaning into then. And I guess you could say the balance of power, really. It's like where it resides then is with that person who you are welcoming, the team member you're welcoming to support you. And then they get to know that person through those notes that you've previously sent. They've kind of got it in the back of their mind. So you don't need to talk in that three-way chat about everything about that new person. And it was interesting. I was really kind of, I was interested to hear that, and I could see it play out, the difference between where that balance of power lies. Did you find that, Celine? Like, I really noticed that when I started to look at it.
Yeah, no, I love that, because it is, you know, like I say, it is about the opportunity to edify on, and the whole idea is that you're wanting to welcome them into the Juice Plus community. So we want them to see that, you know what, you've got some people here that know what they're talking about, you know, and as I say, you know, somebody who's brand new, maybe who's bringing in their first recruit, they might feel like they don't know anything, but you're already 1, 2, 3 a week older in the business than the other person. Seriously, you actually already do. And I know that there's people have said to me before, but you know what, I don't know how to lead somebody, or I don't know how to, but if you've managed to be on the product, use the product, have a story, already start to share that, you already know what to do. You really do. You know more than what you think. And so when we shift that in our mind, it's amazing what actually starts to happen. The conversations are different, and you really do start to attract beautiful people into your sphere, both from a recruiting perspective and of course a product perspective as well. So it is very, very exciting. So what I'd love now is just in these last few minutes here, as we're kind of, you know, winding through the call, I'd love for you to put below, when was the last time that you did a 3-way chat or a 3-way call? Are you in any at the moment? You know, the challenge, I suppose, that we would like to lay out for you is that as you kind of do the home run for this month, and for many of you, it's about getting that 1 to not miss out on the 5-1 bonuses Lyndsey kind of alluded to earlier on. This is month 2. Okay, so for those of you who did it last month, you're on to kind of an extra little bit of bonus this month. But for those of you who didn't do it last month, who couldn't do it last month, okay, this is the first month now. Okay, you get to have your $100. So it's important that you don't want to miss out. There's 3 months up for grabs. Okay, 1's gone, there's still 2 to go. So I'd be really encouraging you to go out strong in this month. So how many 3-way calls can you actually get into your diary over this next week? Okay, if you really think about it, and if you're courageous, for those people that you want to start conversations with, I'm sure there will be some 3-way calls that you can tee up between now and the end of the month. Okay, so love for you to kind of add, when you're watching later on, do hashtag replay, or, you know, and also then put in there, you know, are you in some 3-way calls at the moment, or 3-way chats? And, you know, how many are you going to commit to doing over this next, the rest of this month? Okay, really encourage. How about actually right up to Christmas? Let's go. Let's really finish 2018 strong. It's only about 4 weeks to Christmas. So let's finish 2018 really, really strongly, and see what we can do.
Love
Sounds
it.
good.
Love it, love it, love it. And you know, one of the things that I just also love about the Juice Plus community is the way in which they really work these last few days of the month. You know, it's kind of like that end of month hustle, you know. Love the vibe and the energy that comes from that. So, you know, be interesting to see how many 3-ways can be done in these last few days of the month as we then roll out into December. So super exciting time, Celine.
Sounds awesome. All right, beautiful team. Well, we are going to, I will put this document up into the group as well, the 3-way call etiquette, just so you can kind of go over it again. And hopefully if you've got any questions about it, or is anything that we didn't cover, please put it in the chat. We will be checking in on these chats over this next few days. And so if there's anything else that we can add in there, we will. But other than that, let's absolutely have an amazing, amazing day, an amazing week, and let's finish off November really ticking off some goals for us. So big hugs to you all. Thanks for joining, Lyndsey.
Yeah, lovely as always. I'll see you in NZ in a couple of days. Mwah! Lots of love. See ya. Bye.